this is just a test.
Can you hear yourself?
Yes.
Go ahead.
There's somebody in there. I wanted to share a story with you tonight. Let's share a story. I wanted to share the story of how I lost my virginity with you. But don't worry. Just don't worry. It's totally gonna be fine. I won't leave out any of the juicy details for you. It's gonna be good. Unfortunately for me, it didn't happen till I was 21. I was a bit of a late bloomer, I confess. And also, unfortunately for me, it didn't happen anywhere exotic, like Spain, Hawaii, anything like that. It was the Midwest, in Missouri of all places. It was a late fall day, and I was actually hitchhiking. I had covered quite a distance already, and I was getting close to my point of destination when I saw a red Volkswagen Beetle zoom by and then slow down. And I had already seen the long, blonde, flowing hairs of the driver. So I thought to myself, as this car is turning around, I'm gonna get lucky. But I'm also gonna remind you of the fact that I was 21 and still a virgin. So when I mean I was gonna get lucky, I meant be in the presence of a beautiful woman. For me to see any action at this point in my life, it would require 4 leprechauns taking me by the hand and showing me the ropes before anything would ever happen. So this car zooms around, pulls up. I open the door, the passenger door, and here's my first surprise. She is a he with long, flowing blonde hair. But she, who's actually a he, is going in the right direction. So we talk about it and all right, I get a ride. Now comes the second surprise. The seat, the passenger seat, the back of it doesn't work so well. So it's only in the downward position, and I'm kind of awkwardly hanging out as we start to acquaint ourselves. And we're actually connecting. We're having a nice time talking. It's all like, wow, yeah, oh yeah. And I think he got into his comfort zone too, because all of a sudden he mentions, do you like to suck cock? Without even thinking about it, I'm like, no. And then I look over at this guy, like I'm really checking him out now. This guy is ripped. Like, arms like that. In that moment, I understood the plight of women much better. If he wanted his way with me, my skinny 20-year-old ass was not going to be able to do anything about it. So my heart is in my throat trying to escape from my body, basically, as I'm anticipating his response. And his response eventually comes, and he says, I thought I'd ask. I thought I'd ask? Holy shit. I almost died. I almost jumped out of that car. I thought I'd ask. Holy moly. And he's nice enough to just like pick up the conversation, or at least attempt to pick up where we left it off. But the flow of our banter back and forth had kind of disappeared. And at one point, he makes the following suggestion. He says to me, you know what? I actually need to go into town and I just need to pick up one thing from my house. I can totally drop you off where you need to be. I tried to be as assertive as I can sound in my scared position, and I say, no, really, I'm good, thank you. But he overrules that notion. He's like, it'll only take a minute. And next thing I know, we zoom off the main drag onto this gravel road. And this road is like a mile long, and there's like 4 houses on it. I check to see if the window works, so I can yell at maybe a deer that can escape me, or that can help me escape. But even the window doesn't work, so let alone a deer coming to the rescue. And then we finally pull up in front of this house. And I'm like, all right, this is my chance. But his garage door is electric. And boom, doors open, we pull in. As soon as we park, I try to get out, doors are closing already. So now the only escape route I have is to follow him into the house. And as we step into the house, through the garage, there's 3 other dudes there. The biggest one is by the front door. 2 dudes in the kitchen. And they're like, oh, look what you brought us today. So at that point, my soul is escaping out the door, leaving my body to deal with the consequences. The driver now turns to the other guys like, no, I saved this one for George. They're all like, oh, no fair. And one of the guys in the kitchen yells up, George, your brother got you a present. And I hear some doors open and close, and then steps on the upper level, and then I see the stairs and these high heels. And for a second I was hopeful, but then I saw how nice those legs were, so I was like, oh, it's a transvestite. And, I say my goodbyes to, all my family members, everybody who I'm close to. I see my life pass in front of me. But then I realize, as this person is coming further down the stairs, that this transvestite, really looks like a woman. Really just looks like a woman. And then I realize George is a woman. And so my heartbeat picks back up, and I'm breathing again. Hallelujah. And she is funny, witty, and playful. And I'm kind of playful and witty. And how's it even possible for me to be with an attractive woman and not just stumble over my words, but actually say funny stuff back? And we hit it off, and we're having fun. And the dude who was driving, he went upstairs, comes back down, and he sees us chatting and having a good time. And he's like, hey, we're having a party tonight, you should come. And George, this girl, she goes, yeah, you should come. So I'm like, yeah, I should come. So he drives me, drops me off, he goes into town, picks me up, I come back, and we're having a party. And I don't know how familiar you are with Missouri, but as far as I know, there's not a lot of fun people. But the ones that were in Missouri, they were all at this party. It was fun. There was a DJ, we're dancing, it was good food, people were loose. And I was like, oh shit, this is fun. So then there's a moment in between two songs. It's just quiet. And George and I, just standing in front of each other, you know, because I'm an awkward dude, I'm just standing there. And the big guy who was sitting by the front door in the beginning when I got there, he walks up to us and puts his hands on our backs. And we kiss. And it was magical. Holy moly. That was good. And a lot more magic took place that night. But I won't go into that. What I wanted to share with you is my opinion of gay men. Because in my opinion, I think they're all just leprechauns dressed up as humans. And if you stick around them long enough, they'll bring you so much luck. Beautiful things will happen to you. That was it. Thank you, guys.